ladies and gentlemen. Today I wanted to do something yet again a little bit different. So of course I'm usually doing interviews or I'm looking at like articles or new stuff that's happening in EOS, but I was recently scanning some of the exchanges and I kind of thought to myself, like, what is this stuff? So I thought that if I didn't know, there's probably a lot of other people who don't know out there as well. So what I wanted to start doing was a little bit of a series on some of the new stuff that's hitting new decks and kind of looking at it from a trader's perspective. Now, granted, this is not financial advice. Do not take your investing advice from people on the internet. It's just not a good policy. It's not a good way to go about things. That being said, I am not a financial advisor. I have no specialty in this field, and I could be absolutely wrong about any of the projects I'm talking about. I'm just trying to kind of go through my process and hopefully start a little bit of a conversation. So if you want to hear about new projects that are coming up to EOS, the kind of things that you see hit the exchange and you're like, what is this? Then do me a favor, drop me a like on this video, drop me a subscribe. And if you are the owner of one of these projects and maybe I pegged your project wrong, feel free to reach out, contact me, and let's just do an interview, clear everything up. So that being said, we're going to take a look at some of the new projects coming out, particularly starting off with new decks, and we're going to look at it from a little bit of a trader's perspective. So did you ever go to the exchange and just take a little scroll through there? Of course, I'm on new decks right now and just think like, what is this? Happens to me all the time. So I want to start breaking down some of these projects and talking about some of these projects and just kind of taking a look at would I personally invest. So here we are. We have picked TOB. I'm not even going to lie to you. I just did this on the fly. I've never seen this project before. I strictly chose this project because it popped up. It said new. I have no investments in TOB. I do not know what the future is going to be for TOB. I don't even know what TOB is. I have no idea, but that's what makes it so fun. So I'm imagining by looking at the poker chip that it must be some sort of gambling DApp. I'm looking at the trading history. It's like it just dropped on the 15th, of course, so it's barely been trading. When we look at the buy side, we do have some high demand, and I'm going to be honest with you guys in a lot of these videos, just because there are buys, it doesn't always mean it's a buy, because oftentimes, and I'm not saying for this in particular, I'm just for anybody who's just getting into buying some of these DApps, it's very easy to set a bunch of buys and make it look like there's demand. Now on the sell side, we're looking at orders. They do look relatively thin. The price based on the circulating supply of 10 million is sitting at about 0.000459. And I think that it's important. I think I wanted to start doing these because a lot of new people get in and maybe they don't understand some of the mechanics at play. Number one, this is not a regulated market. So this is not like the stock market. This is not like the New York Stock Exchange. There are a lot of other factors at play, including insider trading. People can push numbers up. And once again, I'm not saying that about this platform. I'm just talking about in general. So I'm hoping along the way I can educate some people who might just be kind of getting into this stuff and open their eyes up to some of the things that do happen so that you understand the relative risk index. Now, of course, this appears to be a betting token. Total max supply, we're sitting at 10 billion with a little under than 1/10 of that currently circulating. We have had a ton of buys with 22.912 million, and right about now you can pick up about 725,000 for 33 EOS. So let's dig into it. Let's take a look at what they have going on. Another gambling DApp, and I'm not going to lie to you, I do invest in these, but I'm not saying I'm a good investor. I'm not even saying I'm a smart investor. It's not even really an investment. You're taking a gamble. But at the same time, some of these things can do really, really well. So let's go see how their webpage is set up and take a little bit of a look at what is 2BitIO token. So we're on the webpage. Seems to be loading. Got some circle things going on. Still circling. Still. Okay, cool. So here I am at what appears to be 2Bet. Once again, gambling assets are in the higher risk range, of course, for a lot of the tokens or things that you're going to put your money into. I am seeing a lot of transactions, which appears to be a good thing. The layout looks okay, looks relatively simplified. Let's check it out in English. So we are in English, of course. It looks like they've got a dice game. They have an Apple game, whatever this Apple game might be. Check this out. Interface looks pretty slick, actually, compared to a lot of other gambling dApps. Once again, I just want to nail home the fact that this is not investment advice. I am not a top-notch investor. I don't have any license for this thing. I'm just talking through some of the new dApps that are popping up. Sometimes they're going to be gambling dApps. Sometimes they're going to be other kinds of dApps. And just kind of taking them apart and just kind of giving my honest opinion on this. But you really need to realize that I could be wrong. I could be wrong in so many different ways. And my plan here isn't to try to expose anybody or try to, talk crap about any project negatively, because I really feel like in the early days of a project, sometimes things aren't always knocked out. So you need to kind of consider that. And of course, you build that into the risk ratio if you decide like you are going to put your money into it. So a little bit slower to load, but it looks like it's finally coming together. And the first page looked pretty impressive. Let's see how their second game looks. Boom. Looks like we have a slot game. Interesting. And of course the hammer game. Not really quite sure how it works, to be honest with you, but looks like a sleek interface. Let's take a look and see if they have looks like they've got a staking and a payout pool ready. They're doing hourly payouts, 10K, 0.01. Just as a forewarning for a lot of these too, and I just want to be real with you guys, for anybody who sees these numbers, they do tend to move around a lot. Sometimes at the start, gambling dApps will pour a bunch of their money into here to kind of lure people in, but you just have to be realistic about whether or not that's going to sustain itself. However, if there's a payout in 43 minutes, they've got 603 EOS, it appears as though they've got some legitimate volume. I actually don't have Telegram installed on my Mac, so I'm going to go and check out and see the size of their group. I don't expect that it would be a massive group because they're just kind of starting to get set up. And of course, once again, something else, you can't really judge your investment by the size of their group because it's really easy to add bots and just slam people into a channel. Now, again, I am not a professional. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm just trying to bring you guys like a short quips about some of the stuff that's coming out. I don't endorse any of these things. I'm not against any of these things. However, if I see things that are definitely questionable, I won't necessarily call them out, but I will let you know that I would not put my money into that. And once again, I am not like the oracle of investing. This is just strictly some fun and just kind of tearing into projects and trying to provide everybody with just like a quick 5 to 10 minute video on what's going on and what some of these projects are and how they're popping up. And I intend on doing a lot of. So I did go in and I checked their Telegram. It looks like they have about 200 people in there. It looks like they're pretty active online. I can't necessarily see a picture of their white paper or what they have going on, but it looks like they do have a community. It looks like they are engaging. I would imagine that if I were to check their Twitter, they seem to definitely have a Twitter account. Seems to be together. I've got some information here. I didn't yet see a white paper, but that's not really abnormal for a gambling application. So we'll let that go. So TO Bet. I mean, the interface looks good. It looks smooth. They're active on Telegram. They seem to have transactions. I always like to check things out on dApp Radar and see where they are as well, which is another word of caution. And I'm not saying that they're doing this, but I'm just saying that a lot of these gambling dApps will use bots and other people will use bots to do some of the mining. So let's kind of see where it's landing on dApp Radar. Of course, when things just get released, they tend to skyrocket quite a bit, which brings them up significantly in the ratings. But I do always go and I check them out on dApp Radar and look at how many transactions and what kind of their place is. And I'll do that ongoing over the course of a week if I'm really kind of considering putting some funds into something like this. So let's check it out right now. So here we are on dApp Radar. We're gonna go down to gambling and we're gonna look for this. So it is number 88. And of course, quite a fair amount of transactions comparatively to the rest of them. Volume as well in 7 days looks like it's pretty decent, and 655 users. Once again, like these numbers kind of can be skewed, but it's also just another metric that you can use to decide if you want to sink your money into something. It's something that I personally use as well. So we're sitting at about number 8 in the gambling. All dApps, I would imagine we are sitting number 13. So not too bad. So I'm just going through some of their basic instructions on the site, how to play, dice method, tells you how to log in, all the usual stuff. Prize pool, the team bid is 30% of the platform's revenue. It looks like you can create teams and bid based on those. Bonus of location, numbers with the most bidding, TOB on the team. Fruit machine method. Okay, so I think that's probably referring to the slots, a little bit of instruction for those. So let's take a step back and talk about this a little bit here. So just to do a few more calculations, I always like to take a look at what the current market cap is and what the potential market cap could be. And these are just some things that I do. I'm not saying that they're right. I'd actually love to know what you guys do and what your process is on what you do when you're kind of considering putting money into one of these dApps. And of course, with a gambling dApp, you're gambling. Like you never really know what you're going to get. A good friend of mine said something, and I'm not calling this a shit token or whatever. I'm just saying a good friend of mine said, Matt, you better buy 100 of every shit token. And he said that specifically because sometimes things pan out really, really well. But my overall analysis of this so far is that it's got a pretty decent UX. It's a little bit slower to load. Looks like they're organized. Looks like they have a Telegram. Their dividends are up. Looks like they've got volume, although we don't know if that's real volume. But we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it looks like it could be real volume. They've got 3 games to launch with. Active Telegram, active Twitter. Looks like a nice little kind of design UX, better than a lot of the other ones out there. Transactions seem to be pounding in. And of course, those could just be bots. It could just be auto bet, but it's looking good, to be honest with you. It's looking good. So if I look on Nudex right now, and of course the time of this is always going to change. I'm looking at 0.00420 for the current price based on a circulating supply of approximately 1 billion tokens. I'm just going to do some quick math. Approximately worth about 600,232 EOS, and EOS currently worth $2, possibly less. I try not to watch these days for a lot of reasons that you can all understand. It looks like it's about 1,100,000 market cap, but of course it's super new, so it's super volatile. Would I invest in this DApp? Well, I will say this. I do sometimes put kind of an offshoot of a few tokens into something like this. I would definitely rank any gambling DApp a lot higher on my risk profile. And I wouldn't, I mean, just for me, this is just what I do. I'm not saying this is what you should do. Some guys go all in or nothing, but I tend to make some kind of, smaller investments in higher risk things. I think that they have a good layout. I think that they have a good design. I don't have the information on the team, of course. It's a decentralized gambling DApp, which means that anything can happen. And you really need to realize that when you're investing into these things, like it's really no man's land. So you don't know how it's going to go one way or another, but could pan out, could not. I put it higher on my risk profile. And at least for me, when I invest in it, I would consider it, but I won't. Let's put it that way. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to be highly successful, and that doesn't mean that I'm right. It also doesn't mean it's going to not hit zero, because there's a lot of different factors at play. But that is TO Bet, and that is something that just popped up brand new on Nudex. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know if you guys like these, if you guys prefer kind of the less risky investments where you can get to know the team and some of the things behind them. I definitely have a lot more of those in my investment portfolio. And I want to know kind of your process and how you guys go about doing this yourself. What am I missing? What should I be doing? What are some of the dApps that I can be doing in the future? I want to do just about everything on Nudex. So throw me some suggestions in the comments. Throw us a little bit of love. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. And hope to see you on the next one. See you soon. Bye.